Phillip Garcia, Phillip Garcia, Phillip Garcia, Phillip Garcia, Phillip Garcia, Phillip Garcia. Phillip Garcia is our friend tonight. We just met him for the first time, and he is a wonderful human being. We sadly had some technical issues, so we are going to be starting kind of in the middle of the podcast, but you guys will catch up. You're very smart
With
people.
COVID, I'm doing socially distanced, and I'm gonna put a cap at 40.
Yeah,
but
you're gonna kind of do the Dave Chappelle thing with like the
exactly.
826. What was that news stand up 826 or 816?
He did like 30 minutes on social discussion.
Yeah,
which was needed. He's our real president.
I think so.
When he speaks, I think people listen and like.
Yeah.
Think. When our real president speaks, it's like, I think I just listened and got dumber.
I think
I don't know what really happened.
I got COVID just from listening to him at my house.
Yeah,
is what happened.
And I cured it by the amount of times he said "clockwork we queen" and
clockworking
chloroquine.
If you want to just put yourself like, that's why I think he just ended up just going, just inject yourself with Lysol.
Yeah,
like because he couldn't say the other thing. Like so he's just like, I know Lysol.
Oh,
like
shit.
that's a brand.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Lysol.
I can't help but to think about like how many unintellectual people though are walking out in their backyard and saying, "Shit, Ricky, Bobby put chlorine in his veins again. Call the hospital. He had a cough this morning. I didn't think he'd do it again." Like it's just
you can't cure him of stupidity.
Put the pool supplies down, Ricky.
You can't cure him of stupidity.
It's not just chlorine. There was two more whole syllables.
Chloroquine.
Yeah. I'm not.
What's that?
I hate to be the person. Like I was like having like my hands do this weird thing when I have like really bad anxiety where I get like eczema. They dry out. And the first 3 months of this, without having the stage as a form of expression or having the medium like you were talking about to really like. Y'all get it, the artist complex. You're like, I just need to be heard and validated.
We haven't been able to play shows in general.
I bet you're dying inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Substance
a hole
abuse.
in the hole. It's a hole.
Yes.
I've had seizures. I haven't been able to.
Really?
No. I haven't had seizures.
Seizures as a whole fucking. Hey, man.
But that's just.
No, I feel you though. I was like, it's definitely it emotionally affected me, and about a month or two in, I started seeing the physical ramifications of that, and I was like, I knew comedy was killing me because I was going out and smoking cigarettes and drinking beer every night, but then I didn't realize not doing comedy would not save my life.
Kill you.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is? I guess I'm just meant to die at 32 and live fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell.
I don't want to be sad and die.
Yeah.
I wanted to be happy and die. If I could be happy and die, that's the goal.
I want to pronounce hydrochloroquine before I die.
Chlorohydrofoxylines?
Yeah. Something about a fox jumping over jeans. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
All right. So let's do this. Yeah. I want to talk about just favorite stand-up comedians. I'm a huge stand-up fan.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, I failed at it. But I love the art of it. Mm-hmm. Right? I love the idea of people being able to speak their mind and, just because there's truth in humor, right? And I hate when people get upset because of humor. I think that's the dumbest thing people could do. Yeah. So I want to open up the table to any kind of stand-up. Like, who would you say your favorite stand-ups are? I'm gonna go with you, Milo.
I'll start.
Yeah.
My favorite stand-up. I don't know. I grew up watching the Chappelle Show with my father, so the Chappelle Show will always hold like near and dear to my heart. But I think my favorite stand-up act of all time is probably Eddie Murphy's Delirious.
Yeah,
I don't think anything. I know it's super offensive and shit, but I honestly don't give a fuck.
Whatever.
I think it's one of the best.
It's great. Yeah.
No, it's one of those golden, like, it's a golden record.
Yeah.
That's one thing that was a transformational moment of my life, was like the one inappropriate dad out of everybody was like, we were all over one night, spend the night, and he was like, y'all want to see some shit? And we're like, Yeah, we would definitely want to see some shit. You're the guy that shows
and you're
us shit.
dying, and you're like,
Yeah.
this barbecue shit is crazy.
Yeah, you're like, I remember I think he was talking about like,
Wasn't
getting
that
fucked
album
by a
Ready to
horse
Then?
at one point.
Yeah.
And I think one of our buddies like literally threw up. No, it was the Mr. T joke about I'll pinch your dick off or whatever.
Yeah.
He-
It's like,
I
I'll
don't know
pinch your dick
why.
off.
I don't know why. I've never seen extreme homophobia to the point where someone threw up just about talking about comical gay sex. Like he actually like had to run to the restroom, and yeah, that's a weird explanation to have to give another child's parents the next
By
day.
the way,
restroom.
hey, none of you
Pitying
boys.
the fool.
That's do what I think that's the only time you can tell someone else's kids like, "Hey, you shut the fuck up about tonight." You know,
Yeah,
we don't talk about what happened here.
exactly.
I think that's the only time.
If you want me
can
to
do
show you
that.
Bill Hicks next time you come over, you better shut the fuck up about all this.
Yeah. So I got them all lined up.
I definitely went home
Like,
different
don't do
that time. Like it really is. That's a
Yeah.
pivotal special. For me, it was George
Interesting.
Lopez. I don't really
Really?
align with him too much now, but he was formational for me.
Yeah.
But George Lopez, like, I think y'all have all seen the meme. It's like where you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, da, 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 da. That was like my childhood. It was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I cannot believe George Lopez is still on right now.
Yeah.
But you'd wake up and you'd watch it. I loved how it's so bad of me, but I loved how he talked to his mother-in-law. Or was it his mother? Where he'd be like, "You crazy old bat."
Yeah.
I'd be like,
just
she
talk
was, though.
shit.
Yeah.
Like,
That was, but I went to go see George Lopez because my mom knew I loved him. She bought me live tickets when I was 12 to go see him at
really?
Grand
That's
Prairie,
cool.
and it was the worst idea I think she ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the most vulgar human being.
Yeah, because you don't expect it.
No,
that's
and-
what a lot of people don't realize is
Yeah.
they get these specials, or not specials, but they get these TV shows,
Mm-hmm.
and then you expect to go watch what they're doing on the TV
Exactly.
show, and they're just like, "What's up, you pussy cunt fucks?" Like, and you're just like, "Jesus Christ, I shouldn't have brought my child."
His actual like his calm bit was talking about predisposed gay names. He was like,
Clint.
if you name your kid Jacob, apparently like you're begging for him to suck cock in the schoolyard. Now I remember him saying that, but the way he put it was so much more eloquent.
Well, yeah.
we were laughing.
We're butchering the jokes.
Yeah,
but
I couldn't. I remember having to hide my laughter though, because my mom was sitting next to me and like forming this weird coalition with the people next to me. And, like that shit was funny.
Yeah.
And then my mom's over there doing the same stuff with the people to her left, and you're just like, we're not enjoying this together because we can't. Like our
yeah.
now, my mom makes jokes about like dead babies and shit.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, yeah. She's worked in like social services for a long time, so she's
Yeah.
seen-
So dead babies
Yeah, it's commonplace.
is normal.
That's her paperwork. is dead babies.
Just- So Cindy,
yeah.
3 years old.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She was actually in charge of. She works for CPS. She was in charge of the sexual abuse unit for
Oh,
Tarrant
wow.
County.
Oh,
All for a long
jeez,
time,
dude.
and that was
dude, I can't even imagine, because we all live in our own bubble.
yeah.
So we don't think that shit goes on in our community.
Yeah, to
but
her
it's
it's her clock in, clock out.
You take a left and you go to the right, and then there's poor little Cindy Lou who's
Yeah, for her
been
it's
dead.
like
Yeah,
oh,
that's crazy.
you remember that case you had yesterday? The kid died last night.
Yeah.
We didn't get like it's like rough with her, but I guess that all ties back into like the formation of like where my kind of comedic
Dark.
understanding comes from and the idea
The
of
dark humor.
yeah.
in
Like
a
I have that
sense,
joke
yeah.
about dead dogs. I don't know if that was on that.
No,
improv,
I
but-
didn't. I haven't seen that one.
It's just that I just opened the joke by saying, "Does anyone here have dead dogs?" And that immediately makes a room go quiet with a little bit of giggle, and then
Yeah.
people say yes, and then you kind of
Obviously,
pull them
yeah.
in. You're like, "Well, where's the last place you buried your dead dog?" And we're in Texas, so
Yeah.
people say,
Out in the
"Backyard."
Back, yeah.
Exactly.
No.
And then I said, "Well, I've failed to mention to y'all so far that my family have been renters our entire lives, so we've just been burying dead dogs and leaving them."
That's like the premise of the
I
joke.
gotta go
Just
back.
like-
Yeah. It's
Hey,
weird.
don't worry, gunners in the back.
Yeah. Better yet, it's 3 a.m. A man comes out. He's like, "You can't be here, sir." And you're like, "Fuck you all, I can." Riley's here, you know? How could you put a new AC unit on top of her? it's the,
I've loved this plot of land.
like,
That's
fuck you.
awesome.
I'll just go to the next house and light another cigarette. You know how many dead dogs I have in this neighborhood?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I like everybody always talks about Carlin,
Mhm.
obviously, like George Carlin, inspire them to go out and do comedy. And to me, he has always been just more of like the atheist pastor.
Yes.
That's how I consider him. Like, I don't really consider him a comedian. Like, I feel like he's preaching at me, and I love that because, you know, I feel like I learned something when I listen to Carlin.
Do you know Lewis Black?
Right? Yeah.
See, I feel like Lewis Black is the same kind of guy, but Lewis Black's
He's more
way
political.
more political.
Yeah.
But he brings that same kind of like, I'm the dean,
The
motherfucker.
Like, he plays that role perfectly in that movie.
I
Accepted.
fire your teachers.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
that guy.
Exactly.
I love his class clown special. That's formative for me as well. Just because I did marching band in high school.
That's with the 7 dirty words and stuff, right? Yeah.
Did you ever do like marching band or anything in high school?
No, I didn't, but I did. Like, I was in.
He was in the drill team.
I did cheerleading.
So you get it. You know, there's like points to hit, and on certain times, you understand that.
Yeah.
If you miss a beat, someone's falling off the top of the whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, you get it.
Pyramid's going down, guys.
Exactly. In marching band, one guy steps out of place, the whole formation's
It's the
blown.
same thing. Yeah.
With Carlin, you get that transparency in his material that I really enjoy. It's like the execution, like when he goes through the different sounds that the class clown makes.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, you can tell this guy has rehearsed it over 1,000 times in his bathroom mirror. And it's
he's got the beats
to
literally
me, that's
down.
when like Carlin takes comedy past art and almost puts it to like a scientific approach of like, I know if I hit it at this tempo, this certain way, it's gonna make a guttural thing happen.
Yeah,
he's really something special.
That's how I feel about him, and I get why people look at him and go, okay, I want to try to do this. Like it's like something that I guess persevere to do. I don't know the right word. Is that the right word?
Yeah, he's like comedy Jesus. What would Carlin do?
Right? Yeah, exactly. He's my atheist comedy genius.
I think
I love that.
Exact opposite end is like Robin Williams, who it was
Just
100
all
equally
chaos.
brilliant, but no plan.
It was chaos. Yeah.
Gary Shandling is a really big comic. You know, familiar with him?
Yeah, of course.
He almost took, I think it was Letterman's spot. Him and Letterman, I think, had a big thing over that. But he talks endlessly about Gary. I'm sorry, it just slipped my mind who Gary Shandling was talking about. Who are we talking about? Gary Shandling.
Gary Shandling and Letterman.
But no, who are we talking about going into the
Carlin?
Robin Williams.
Yeah, okay.
Gary Shandling was good friends with Robin Williams, and they would carpool to the Comedy Store.
Oh wow!
And like as a comic, your carpool buddy that means like you've surpassed work colleagues, your buddies. Like I have a buddy named It's like if we're going to a mic, you're gonna call that guy first and ask, "Hey, are you going tonight?" Because I'm just gonna ride with you.
Yeah,
that's a friendship.
Yeah.
And you're also batting your ideas.
And you're probably going almost every night.
Yeah,
to this
5
place.
days a week. You're leaving your family when your family needs you, and you're going to be with this guy to tell dick jokes.
Yeah.
Like your priorities are all fucking out of whack, and this guy understands with you.
Yeah.
But apparently, Gary Shandling and Robin Williams are best of friends.
Yeah.
And Gary Shandling says Robin Williams would just do nothing but just basically talk his ear off about his plans for the evening and all these crazy funny ideas he wanted to do, and then Robin Williams would get there and he'd throw it all out the window and just go on stage like he never even said anything to Gary Shandling. And eventually he said, Gary Shandling's like, I just stopped listening to him in the fucking car.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
And then you have Gary Shandling who shows up with 8 notebooks.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I remember I wrote a note about this bit 2 years ago. Let me write that's going to hit today because so-and-so was assassinated.
Whatever. Yeah.
He's like extremely methodical in his approach.
Yeah. Where Robin Williams was like, hey, look at this guy. I got this
Let's
guy.
do 5 lines and crank out the laughs.
Yeah. It's like, what's up with this guy's beard? Do you ever think about beards? Beards got lice in them. Why would lice have the beard? Like, and you're just like, Jesus Christ.
I got a question for y'all.
All right.
What is the worst stand-up you've ever seen?
Like that's like known? Like
Hannah,
someone who's
Hannah
like
Gadsby.
Yeah,
someone who's gotten
known.
2 specials and you're like, why are they
Hannah,
still giving it?
Hannah Gadsby.
Okay.
I've only heard jokes made about Hannah Gadsby, but
It was horrible. I tried to watch it.
who did
Have
I
y'all
just
seen
watch?
the
though?
new Eric Andre stand-up on Netflix? It is terrible. I can't stand
I
it.
liked it.
I love Eric Andre's show.
liked
I
it.
love the
It's a
spontaneousness to it.
drug-fueled
But
mess.
his
Yeah.
stand-up to me was just like he's trying to portray his show, and it's just
That's
not
fair.
fucking working.
You know what? That's fair comparison. But I love his show so much, and I love him so much that I couldn't not like it. Like, so I think it's kind of an unfair
I
perspective.
just felt like his jokes.
You know what I
were,
mean?
like,
Just
not
because
even, like they
I
weren't
think-
jokes with punchlines. They were more
Yeah.
like here's
Who's
just
done mushrooms
dick and
here?
balls and mushrooms.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I can tell Eric Andre, if you go back and watch his Just for Laughs clips, back when he first started out before he was discovered at New Faces in Montreal, which is like the NFL
bigs,
draft
yeah,
for comedy.
yeah.
If you make it to New Faces, you're gonna get a deal here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Eric Andre killed it at New Faces with that last special with the graphics and everything. You know, like he like animated a little bit. Hannibal Buress did the same thing with his YouTube special, but Hannibal was a fucking monster. He's gonna make
Hannibal
anyone
is
laugh.
way better than Eric Andre.
Oh,
yeah.
Stand up.
You can tell Eric Andre has not been on a stage and done stand up in at least 2 years with that last special. He got on
Yeah.
stage and like you said, he was like,
Are you talking about the
"Who here
Kamasado
smoked
one?
weed before?"
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, that is the number one rule. Like as a stand up, don't get up there and be like, "Where are my weed smokers at?" Like,
Yeah.
who are you, man?
And he would combine your joke. He'd be like, "Where my weed smokers at? You ever bury a dead dog?" Like,
Yes.
and you're just like, "Whoa, bro! Like, where is this
Yeah.
coming from?"
I think
He's-
Eric Andre is this era's Andy Kaufman. And I've said that a while, and
That's
people are like,
fair.
"You can't give people
That's
Andy
cool.
Kaufman's
Yeah.
title." I'm like, but he is our absurdist. He is our push the limits and kind of make us see what
Yeah.
comedy can be outside of the typical domain.
Dude, when he got called up at the RNC and was sitting there,
Jones?
yeah,
Oh,
and
shit.
he was like, "Look at Alex Jones, like, look at what the left does to this, the left," and then and all Eric Andre is saying is, "Who wants to have sex with my wife?
Yeah.
Who wants to have sex with my wife?" And he's like, "Look at this is all the left does." Dirt. Who wants to have sex?
One thing I appreciate about him though is he not only did the RNC, but he also did the DNC. That
he
year.
did, yeah.
And like
He did kind of the
he
same
doesn't.
shit.
He's very biased at both of them, but
Yeah.
the way it's done is you can see the difference in energy and the difference in like emotions that people are feeling at both the DNC and the
Yeah.
RNC. The RNC was way more hostile.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
he
dude,
was-
they wanted
he
to
was
beat
fucking
the
fearing his life,
shit
you know?
out of
Interesting
him.
you said because there's a strong stigma in speaking in history that it takes an intellectual body of people to understand a jester. Right? It would
Yeah.
the king would have to be smart to understand that the jester was his friend and made him likable to the
Yeah.
general public. So like a court jester's job was to humble the king and to maybe relay information to the king that through a humorous way to make him
Yeah.
laugh at himself to understand that he was kind of being a dick.
Yeah,
And that's like what a modern day comic is, and I like that. Like he
Yeah.
did go and do that.
yeah.
But like you said, it speaks volumes that at the RNC they weren't able to basically take a joke, and the DNC's getting high fived. You know, like it's
Yeah.
an interesting. I'm not here to
and
voice
he's
my
doing
political
the
opinion,
same
but
thing.
he's
Yeah.
really-
We're not talking
yeah, but
politically,
he's,
but it's just definitely an interesting take, a different like.
It
His goal at
highlights-
both
you
was
just
like,
notice
I'm gonna
those
fuck with
things.
everyone and try to make fun of the entire situation.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And that's what I like is that he was not biased at all. He did his job as a comedian and was like, I'm gonna be funny no matter what.
It's like that, and it's like I don't think I can look at another human being that I haven't met that's
Yeah.
been like Eric Andre's a crazy fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think his cop car bit with Hannibal is my favorite ever all-time thing in comedy history. You know what I'm talking
is
about?
what?
Okay, so Hannibal is dressed as a cop. He's in a cop car parked in New York City.
Yeah,
Eric Andre is.
I doubt
beating
we
the
could play
shit-
the audio, but you could probably pull something up
I'm gonna
about
try
it.
to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so he's in this. You can just look up Eric Andre cop car. It'll pop right up.
Is it during the show?
It's an Eric
I've
Andre
seen
show
all
thing.
I've
Okay,
seen
so
all this show stuff.
He's
so.
beating the hell out of a cop car. He's dressed as a civilian. Hannibal
Yeah.
Buress comes on the corner dressed as a cop. Like, what the fuck are you doing to my cop car? He's like, and then Hannibal Buress like, that's fucking dope. And they both start beating the shit out of the cop car. But the people walking by are just like, are all bets off right now? Like looking around, like,
Can we?
is this like, are we about to start hitting each
Like,
other?
there's one guy just like
It's like
starts hitting the car.
the Little Caesars commercial in real life. It's like, what are the rules? There are no rules.
There are no.
And he takes his shirt off and like, okay, put your shirt back on. Like, it's that in real life.
I love that Little Caesars is like there are no rules.
Right. That's because they know
That's-
who's eating their fucking pizza. People who have no standards, which means no rules.
They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit.
Look
I
how
think
perfectly parallel parked that car is.
I think last time we were talking about how Walmart is the eaten ass of,
I'm
society
Wait, I'm sorry. Explain
because
that.
there's no standards, there's no rules.
Mm-hmm.
You just go there. Apparently in New York, you're not allowed to eat ass anymore.
It's against the
Okay?
law.
Yeah.
Wait, because of COVID?
yes.
You're shitting.
So
So I'm gonna go to New York and eat all the ass I can get my hands on. Be the ass eating bandit.
and I was like, my point was, well, you can just go to Walmart and
lick the floor.
And get COVID. You can just
I
go to
guess.
Walmart and get COVID.
Yeah.
So is going to Walmart the eating ass of society? Is my point. Right? Do you follow the trail?
It's up there, man.
And then Buddy was like, "Well, I go to Walmart to eat ass." And then
Shit.
it went from there. Anyway,
I love that Walmart closes after 8. I saw the best meme about it.
Yeah,
It was
why
like,
do
oh,
they
I don't
do
want to
that?
catch the nighttime version of the virus.
dude, that's the worst, dude.
Yeah. If you catch COVID after 8, it has a 98%
I'm not going to become
mortality
Robert
rate.
Pattinson.
That is one thing that I don't understand either. See, I had a strange night the other night. We had band practice up here, and afterwards I was like, man, I really want to have sex, but I don't have any condoms. And it was about like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and 7-Eleven.
You know when
is
you
supposed
just got a
yeah,
boner from playing guitar?
7-Eleven is supposed to be open all the fucking time.
Your
I
primitive
drove to
mind's
5
jogging.
different 7-Elevens, and not a single one of them was open.
QT, man. QT is the golden ticket
There's
all
no,
the time.
There's no QTs. where I
Highway
live by.
10.
No, I live over in
Oh.
like fucking
Where you live?
East Dallas area.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no fucking QTs over there.
That's why I
It's
do
all
most of my
7-Eleven.
pest control work at. That's what I'm doing now because of COVID.
Yeah.
I used to tell jokes, but now I'm over there, man. I'm my boss. All of his property management companies are all there at East Dallas. I didn't know. They're, like in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
I've never seen a rat over here. Fort Worth area.
No.
In North Dallas, all my all the rat jobs. This is not about comedy.
Yeah.
Every rat job, I don't know. I don't know who I'm telling. Don't move to Texas. We don't want you here. A and then B. There's rats everywhere. It's filthy, like
Rats.
New York. They eat ass. They spread COVID.
They eat. Walmart is eating ass. Walmart will eat your ass.
Walmart's a. What does that make Target cunnilingus? Like I'm pretty confused. Like
Do you know what? And that sounds lovely,
it does.
right? That
I could give
sounds
head at
nicer.
Target. I would give head to a beautiful woman at Target.
Yeah,
But at Walmart,
I'm eating ass.
I'm gonna crack a White Claw and eat some ass at a
If
Walmart.
I'm going to a Kmart,
I will.
I'm definitely
What is Cougars at
It's like a
Kmart.
hot lunch.
Page.
What do you,
K
what do you
for-
do at Kmart?
K for Cougars.
Just
K for-
dirty Sanchez's.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've never walked into a
I'm
Walmart and not been disgusted.
I'm punching them.
I've never
Is what I'm
found
doing.
a set of wet wipes at Walmart that wasn't already opened and used. I find just
Dude.
baby wipes.
I
constantly
I
open.
find babies on the floor. like
When
they
I
just-
walk into
at least they wipe their asses before they leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I walk into a Walmart, the first thought in my head is, Jesus Christ, this is the country I fucking live in
Yeah,
right
it's
now. This is disgusting.
Hey, baby, if we get tired of shopping for steaks, we can make a pit stop at McDonald's, get a haircut right next door, and then go get our nails did, and then return what we bought because we know as sure as hell we can't afford it after the McDonald's meal.
Do you know what? Do you think these shoes that we bought, they would take them at the Payless shoe store right next door?
fucking love Walmart.
Dude, they're closed
we're talking mad shit about it, but it's not our lifeline. Like,
Dude,
if they shut a Walmart down, would y'all know how to hunt and gather? What if you needed a new belt? Where would you go if there was no stores?
Thrift store.
There's no stores. You got to kill a
there's
deer.
no stores.
Amazon.
Only Walmart.
It's like you just brought up the what's it called?
Jeff Bezos.
Well, what's it called in Terminator that takes Skynet? That's Amazon to me.
Yeah.
Once we give
Dude.
them the power to fly those drones, we're gonna be fighting them off left and
Dude.
right. It's like we're gonna be holed up in people's houses.
My life's run by fucking Amazon.
Really?
Yeah, I got the Fire Stick. I got the fucking all the media and stuff like that.
Them and
like,
Apple. You know.
Yeah,
Once you
dude.
get an
No,
Apple,
I
you're
don't
stuck
have
in the
Apple.
cloud. I know, but I'm saying like once you get
Samsung
an
little
Apple
boy.
phone, you're stuck in the cloud. You
I got an iPhone, but the thing about the iPhone is like now I feel the need to get an Apple Watch, but then now my iPhone's battery is shitting out on me, so now I have to go get my iPhone battery replaced, and I'm like, oh, but I want the iWatch, but if I get the iWatch, will I need that much phone battery? It's what the fuck? I remember when I just got bored and kicked shit as a kid, and now I have to like
what am I even doing with my life?
I wasn't allowed to have a phone until
I
like
still
sixth
kick.
grade.
I still kick shit. You ever just
your
like
phone.
you just get drunk. You're walking through the parking lot and
I
you just
love
see a
laundry
can and you just bam.
A kid, you know.
So you're saying you're like I like to kick shit outside my house. I immediately said without judgment, I was like, I like laundry baskets.
I like laundry.
Which you know is specific enough to be true. You're like, this guy gets drunk and,
And
toe
kicks
pokes laundry
laundry
baskets around the house.
baskets.
They slide well, man. They have that
got
give,
that-
that bin when you
Oh,
toe
that
poke 'em,
little bit of a
and it-
give.
That like you're like, I
And
just
it
toe poked
springs.
it.
It feels like
Exactly.
it springs. I've definitely I've kicked that thing. Have you guys ever punched a hole through a wall?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
Really?
I've had a breakup before, yeah.
Dude, I never have.
Really?
When we were
Yeah, I never have.
Like you never, like not even in an angry fashion, but you never like punched drywall or a door.
No, I broke a bunk bed one time when I was a kid.
imagining that scene on Step Brothers right now, you know.
We're not using power.
It was basically it. I
It's just like
Had
what you
a
would buy in
temper
the
tantrum.
supermarket, man. It's like a real thing. It's a real deal.
yeah, but I never punched a hole through a wall, and
Man.
that just it seems cool. Like I kind of want to just do it just to do it.
I will
Like
not.
not in an angry fashion.
I will not deny that. Like, like I said, I don't think I've ever hit a wall angry, but I've been in a situation where I've been like demo. My uncle was in remodeling and flipping houses for a while.
Like she dodged your punch.
No, my.
I'm
like,
just kidding.
I'm like, wait, what? Am I kidding? What's going on? But no,
Just kidding.
I've taken out like
Just
sectional walls and stuff like that
Yeah.
before, and it's like, yeah, go for it. There's
Yeah.
shit on the other side of those walls
Yeah.
that doesn't break like drywall.
No,
But
asbestos.
it's I'm in like working in pest control. What's crazy
Yeah.
to me is like I'll knock on some apartment doors and they'll be like plywood. I'm like, I could put my fist through right now and just open the door if I wanted to. I have keys. I don't have to do
Really?
it.
Yeah.
But then I have other doors that you'd be like, that's a fire door. Like that's a fire safe door. Like if a fire comes, I won't go through that door type of deal.
Yeah.
That thick. And you're just like, what is it? I wonder.
Where am I?
Yeah. Yeah, like, well, why do
Yeah.
you care about these people? But
Yeah.
the people across the way, they don't want to burn up. I don't understand. Interesting.
Would you say question
Mhm.
onto that? Would you say that their furniture is vastly different inside those doors? Like, would you say one person?
Yeah, because those are replacement doors.
Could you give us their address and
Yeah.
also their information? So,
No, what I'm asking is just like the people with the more heavy duty doors. Or would you say they're richer?
No, I think it comes down
Really?
to the age of the apartments. Just because, like, when a door needs to be replaced, they replace it with a cheaper door. That's like bad property management.
Yeah.
But it definitely is way more scarier when because I'll go from one door that's way, way hard. I'll go like to doing that same kind of pressure on a plywood door, and I'm like basically
it sounds
asking
like-
them to, I'm like robbing their house is almost what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Once again, got off on pest control. I'm like, dude, it's my life now. I've just been killing bugs. It's the weird. I had a huge
Ugh.
bee job yesterday morning.
What?
Yeah, man. I told my
Did you get
boss.
stung?
I did. I actually did. I learned a lot about bees. The guy showed up. He told me. He did. He did because I called him the next
Full
day.
of stuff about bees. Let's find some cool bee facts.
Look up robber bees. This is what I learned yesterday.
Robber bees.
So apparently, bees protect their hive. That's when they sting. But then there's these things called robber bees. It's like every hive has like a militia of these things called robber bees who fly out and take honey from hives.
other bees.
Yeah, they don't have to work for it. This
They
house,
put on their bee masks.
Yeah,
They
ski mask the whole 9 yards.
Yeah,
show
yeah.
up. Not really. It's actually like it's like a loot.
Yeah.
It's looting. So
Yeah.
imagine a hive goes down because it was treated with chemical. The bees leave, but 4 months later, the pheromones start coming out of that honey again. It calls the bees back. So robber bees doing their job flying over hit the pheromones. They go, there's honey down there. They go in and they start excavating that honey. Other bees catch word. Next thing you know, you have a 500 robber bee,
like
not a hive, but it's
fight?
a flurry. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's basically like a swarm. Is what
Yeah.
it's called. I called my boss. I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. I can't handle this. I got stung. I'm out of it.
Dude.
These bees were full of honey. They were dark black, which means they're full of honey.
Yeah.
They show up, whatever. From my understanding, the problem with that is once you treat a hive, they came back 4 months later, and that honey is now infected with a pesticide. The danger in that is they take that honey back to their hives where they're working for, and they spread that insecticide and basically kill hives. It's dangerous. Like honeybees are so important.
Yeah.
So they sealed it. I'll show you a picture. I don't know if I'm
They're
allowed to do
just-
this. I'll have a picture to you. But, man, they had over 400 bees inside their house. This is a nice house in Plano. This isn't like
Yeah.
some shack. But here you go.
Look up fun bee facts.
Look at that.
Fun
I'll show you
bee
these right
facts.
here. I don't know if
Those are cool.
you see it on camera. That's inside these people's house. And then they're all in suits. And I would just
Yeah.
t-shirt. They're like, fuck you, Phil.
So what we're looking at is you could see it's literally a swarm just all over the walls everywhere. They can't
I keep misspelling bees.
Wait. I want to know how you're spelling it.
BEA.
Oh, shit.
I keep spelling
Yeah.
bees.
Oh man.
Milo is Googling.
The most interesting thing I learned though was the beekeeper showed up and I almost punched him in the face because he told me the first thing that was out of this motherfucker's mouth was, "I need you to chill the fuck out." And I was like, "Excuse you?"
Okay, first off, I don't want to get fucking stung,
Yeah, I'm like,
asshole.
yeah, I'm
like,
like, bitch,
what do you fucking mean?
It's Saturday. It's 10 a.m. Fuck you, first of all. Chill went out the window yesterday at 5. Like, it's the weekend.
I'm just sitting here. Who's about to get clocked?
Yeah. He levels with me, though, quick. He's like,
I'm clocked in.
The
I'm
more-
about to clock you out.
the more.
You know what I'm saying? People's elbow.
This guy's hungover.
Okay.
He's like telling me to chill the fuck out. Like, I'm basically like you are in my head right now. I'm like, tell me one reason not to slither up on you and RKO your ass into this fucking beehive. Like, I'm like, talk to me like that.
He's slithering.
Yeah. He speaks fast, though. He goes, because bees don't like CO2. And when you're anxious and you're worried, your skin emits CO2, your mouth, your nose, like everything emits CO2. So you need to literally just chill the fuck out. Yeah, I haven't masturbated in like 6 days. So that's why mine was releasing a lot of CO2.
And also why he's sweating cum right now.
Yeah. It does have a little bit of, it's drying.
Perspirating.
Yeah.
Me
But,
too. I don't think I've changed
I didn't
underwear.
know that though. So they're bothered by carbon dioxide.
It's true. Don't swat them. Like the moment you
so if
swat
you're
them, you'll get
sitting there, like-
swarmed.
So if you're sitting there like
100%.
they're just
You won't get that third breath.
yeah.
out.
I always thought
They see it. Like they see CO2.
are they also attracted to like white T-shirts and stuff like that? I've heard that.
bright colors. Any type of
Yeah.
floral colors like that pink right there would get them.
Yeah,
But
like
they're
Milo's mom would get him hot and bothered.
no, but you gotta just be like the crazy thing is after he told me that, the guy's demeanor made all the sense in the world. I basically like Mr. Miyagi of beekeeping. This guy would like walk up with nothing on and just be like, "Come here, children." Like just reach out,
Hello.
take it. He's like, "See, you just gotta be real calm." I'm
He's like,
"Motherfucker."
yeah.
I
He's
don't
like,
care.
and I also haven't breathed for 5 minutes.
yeah.
I'm David Blaine.
My resting heartbeat is 12.
12. Yeah.
It's always 12, right? There's always a number you gotta
just-
pick.
Come to me, my children.
Pretty creepy.
For
He's way too confident about the situation.
why is he? It's like a weird Batman villain, the one that controls bees.
Bees.
Why hasn't that a? Dude, that's a good villain.
That is a thing.
that is a
That's
thing, right?
existed a million times.
Bee man?
What? No.
Beekeeper.
But have they spelt it BEA man?
I want to see.
Honestly, man, it was the most intimidating thing I've ever done as in pest control in the last 5 months.
That's
Just because
intense.
the moment I sprayed in the house when I went there initially because kids were getting stung, so we had to
like,
come. That's the thing. I sprayed in the house, and I shit you not, every wall in that house started vibrating. Like, and me and the tenant looked at each other. It was like, and I was like, I don't think we should be here anymore.
I don't.
I
I
was-
think
I-
we're gonna have to put
Yeah.
one of those tents
That's what they did.
over it. Yeah. No
he,
shit.
He had when he cut that hole in the wall you saw, he hung
Yeah.
like a tarp around it. And
Yeah,
he was like in there
that's-
in a ladder.
yeah.
He was like,
And then somebody came
Come
and
here.
cooked meth inside.
man, I'll tell you, those tenants were pissed off.
Isn't that what they did in Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there beat? No.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you really?
Is this a comic book character
There are a couple of different comic book characters that exist.
that is like B-Man,
Oh,
Bishi,
Yellow Jacket.
the she-bee? Well, those are hornets, so that doesn't count.
B-boy.
Damn it.
I'm gonna have to get going here pretty soon.
All right, man.
Okay.
This is interesting as shit. Though. I didn't know that they had done this many times. It almost seems like I feel stupid for saying they never did because it seems like they walked
You
it
got
out.
I know, like I'm kind of like
See,
feel rude now. Like
This is Swarm here, I guess.
Okay, I know swarm. That makes sense. But is he all bees?
I think he just has a swarm of bees that he summons. Or some
That's
shit.
pretty dope.
that's actually really cool.
I
That sounds
will
like some
say-
sweet D&D character.
Swarm.
Yeah.
Swarm is a cool name now that I think about it. That's a good disc golf disc name.
There you go.
Swarm.
Yeah, because it swarms onto the
Yeah.
onto.
We
the
talked a
hole.
little about that. You play,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I play.
Yeah. I was at the disc golf shop the other day, and I was like, "Why is there no like machine that throws these so y'all know the characteristics of every disc?" And the guy at the store looked at me. He's like, "That's a good idea. You should do that." I Like, what do you mean, bro? I'm not a fucking
What do you mean
scientist.
I should do that?
Yeah.
You own the fucking
does
store.
that really not work?
I play disc golf.
Can't you just use you know the little things that they use to like shoot rifles?
That's what you think, but apparently it's grip and everything is a factor in throwing.
Because you have your Heiser and Anheuser movement grips and stuff like that. You got there's a bunch of different factors.
If he's left-handed, he throws a disc literally opposite of the way I throw it, which is interesting.
Who?
Like if you were left-handed and I was right-handed, but I gave you a disc, it would go
was
the
like, who?
Who's
Who are we
left-handed?
talking
Burn that witch.
Left-handed. She sounds like a whore
Never
anyway.
use scissors that were meant for it.
I only dated left-handers. Man, okay, so I want to get back to a little bit of comedy before you have to leave.
For sure.
I know you got.
How do you come up with your material? That's one thing I want to know.
So I write when I feel like it, which is came out like it did, I guess.
So that's your opening joke.
I've been told by other comics, though, they're like, a lot of comics will sit down and really try to force out something every day, which I believe in. Like, you should write every day, if you want to.
Absolutely.
For me, I live like, comedy to me happens like in here, like in right now. Like if you said something fun, like I have a great joke, and it's that I've never seen an Amber Alert with a car newer than 2010 on it. It's because kidnapping is a poor people problem, right? That joke completely stems from my, like, I guess you could call her my sister-in-law. So my brother's girlfriend. They've been dating for so long though. But she said at dinner one time, because we all got an Amber Alert, she goes, it was like a 2003 Kia Sorento. I was like, she goes, I've never seen an Amber Alert with a car newer than 2010 on it. And I was just like, click in my head.
Well, I mean, rich people, they have a whole island for raping children.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the punchline is rich people pay for their children they take in whole. You don't ever hear about them.
They don't have to kidnap.
Yeah, they don't default or get repossessed.
Yeah. They don't have to.
You're based off of just like random things that pop up, life experiences.
I guess you
phrases.
observational, 100%. Like, have you ever seen a really old veteran with a really old Asian woman and wondered if he took her? Crazy shit like that. Like, it's just like,
Dude, that's actually when you opened with that joke.
Yeah, it's my favorite
I was
opener.
like, okay, I gotta have this guy on. I was a little drinky pooed, and then I as soon as I was like, hey, isn't he a stand-up comedian? I think that'd be a fun one to have on, right? And then she sent me that clip, and I was throwing a couple adult pops back, and then you she sent me that video, and you opened up with that, and I just immediately I listened to the rest of it because I actually want to talk to you about your last little
sure,
bit,
man. I love
which is
dissecting
funny,
it. Yeah.
which is but I immediately was like, we gotta
yeah.
come on, dude, like, it's gonna be fun.
I advanced that round, too. I got to the semifinals, so that was a lot of fun.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
cool, dude, that's super cool. But your last little bit where you go, you talk about calling your boss. You should call him while you're high.
How to call him to work sick.
Yeah. That's such a good bit.
It's I'll run through it. I don't mind.
Yeah,
It's
go for it.
The premise is that who here likes to call him to work? It's a good call and response joke. And everyone, yes, I love to call him to work. Worst part about calling him to work is talking to the boss, though. And it's hard, you got to hang upside down in your bed. You got to sound convincing. And I'm telling you, the number one way to do it, you're going to stay home and smoke weed all day anyways. That's what you're calling in for, right? I'm telling you, smoke weed, skip all the parts, and just smoke weed when you're calling your boss. I'm saying hit the bong when the phone's ringing. It'll sound something like, hey, boss, not feeling too well today. Don't think I'm going to be able to make it in. Yeah, came down with something real gnarly. Yeah, it's play down.
I love that bit.
It's based off of truth, though, man.
bit.
That's the
That
thing.
is, yeah.
I had an email at one
Exactly.
point, and
Yeah. And
'Cause
and those are always the best bits. That's kind of
100%.
what you're actually kind of going exactly where I was going with it is.
Yeah.
It is based off of truth, and I think that's why. I mean, some of my favorite comedians. I mean, like I love. We talked about Joe Rogan earlier. Everybody says Joe Rogan. Tim Dillon, though, is one of the most
freak of nature.
underrated comedians of all time right now, and he just comes out and crushes it, and it's just all based in truth, and he's literally just saying truth to you.
He's truly a jester, a court jester.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
up there.
And when you sit there, and what's weird about our period right now is we've gotten to the point where the truth sounds ridiculous right now.
Yeah.
We're in a point in our society
is,
where the
though.
truth is just absolutely insanity.
Yeah.
So where do we go from there? You know what I mean? Like when you're making a joke now, you can't.
I don't think. I told you I was in PR and advertisement, so I got to study a lot of like the number game behind that, and like correlation doesn't equal causation, but if you throw something at a wall, it might stick if you know what color the wall is, stuff like that. I think we've all been. I think we've all been reamed of our information, and I'm not telling you we have been.
Yeah.
If you get on Facebook right now, everything is broadcasted to you. It's genetically like put into your life because they know you're gonna buy it.
Yeah.
I think they've done that with us to an extent of like contentness. Like you're saying the truth is what's real, but it's not the truth. It's like the headline game now is like killer bees invading North America. You're like BuzzFeed. That's a good pun for that. Like what I literally just said, the killer hornet. And that's the thing. And it goes back to pest control, believe it or not, because so we get coronavirus, and then I think it was a month later they said killer hornets, right? You know how many calls we got for, I think I have killer hornets in the backyard. We get there, you're like, bitch, you have wasp. You need to chill the fuck out.
You've seen a mud dauber before, right?
My boss's company probably made a couple racks just off of fear.
Yeah.
And fear sells. Everything else you kind of have to bait and snatch out. Love, those emotions that are kind of a little bit more fine-tuned into your brain and unique. But one human has everything in common, and that's fear. And that's really easy to tune into. Yeah. I'm going to threaten your sense of security and what you have, and then you'll do anything.
But we've been doing that slowly, I mean, since the 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, since literally Vietnam, we've been just going, hey, here's a little bit of fear.
It's because I think Americans lost the natural will to work that, you know how American laborers back the U.S. dollar?
Yeah.
I think we lost that like the mentality of like, I have to go to work, it's my civic duty. And the government noticed we started to lose it, so they started to reinforce it with fear. Yeah. Like, you'll lose everything. Yeah. And this country will lose everything.
Even though this might not be real. Even though this might not be a thing. Like,
I bet you anything in the next half decade to a decade, we see an increase in, like, belief of civic duty. Because you're going to have this generation of us who's like, you have to go to work or you... Like, I worked through the pandemic, kiddo. Yeah. You would have starved and you wouldn't have been here. Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. I quit
Make
my dreams.
the shoelaces for Nike, you poor piece of shit. Yeah. Why don't you have money and I did?
I'll show my grandkids. I'm like, look, here's a set of me at the fucking Improv, and here's a video of me squishing roaches 2 months later. What the fuck did you think happened? You know, like, this is my life.
And it's the parents causing the fear as well. Do you know what? Okay, so kind of follow me on this logic real quick. It might be a little far fetched, but I think it might have really started during the 20K, like the 2000 thing where
Y2K?
everybody was like, all the fuck, Y2K, Y2K, where everybody was like, holy shit, all the computers are gonna fucking take over, like all that shit.
It's conspiracy finally like surfaced.
Yeah, and so we were believing all that and stuff like that, but then the government realized that we all just went out and partied instead.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they're all just like, I mean, that's when you were born. You were born in 2000. I don't think you were. Yeah.
I didn't.
You don't even know about this.
I was 4 when it happened.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't even remember all too well.
Okay.
The first thing I read out loud was the 9/11 headline, apparently. My mom told me. A little banner that went across the screen. She was in the kitchen working.
You don't remember 9/11?
I don't remember it too well. I remember it.
I'm so fucking old in this room right now.
Yeah, you're old, man.
God damn.
But my mom said that she was working in the kitchen and heard me say like 911, and earlier like in my life I had called 911 as a joke because I thought it was a carpet cleaning service. Yeah. So she was like, not again. She comes out to the living room and sees
Dal Worthington.
Yeah, the second fucking tower.
Shout out to Dal Worthington.
What gardens?
and that the I thought that was the carpet cleaning place.
No, Stanley Steamers was the number I tried to call.
Stanley Steamer, okay.
Yeah, that's who the ad was.
Shout out Stanley Steamers.
Yeah, it was like a domestic abuse ad right next to a Stanley Steamers ad, and I was like, that's the number, 911.
You like transvaginal mesh?
I'm just trying to carpet clean your carpet, sweetheart.
Dude.
Well, shoot.
I think that's a good note to end on. In all
Yes.
honesty,
Steam cleaning the vag.
Let's steam clean. This is Phillip Garcia, and he's here to steam clean your vag.
It's been great having you on, man.
Dude, it's been awesome.
Yeah, anytime, y'all. This is great. I
You got
really enjoyed it.
any shows or any websites or anything you want to plug?
When will September 26th. It'll be at like 10 p.m. It's late. BYOB. Bring anything you want. Just don't do heroin at my mom's, please. Jesus fucking Christ. It's in the garage.
Meth is okay, but heroin, I swear to
Yeah.
fucking God.
Yeah. No needles. That's the rule. I don't like pointy things. But follow me on Instagram or anything. PhillipG414. Phillip with 2 L's, and I post all the posters there. I try to keep everything low key so I don't have to deal with cops coming to my mom's garage and shit like that. But
Yeah, there you go.
we usually pack it out when there's not a pandemic. But since there's a pandemic, we'll just have a nice little cozy backyard setup. Yep.
I want to be
Mosquito
there.
free.
You wanna
Please
go?
come on, yeah.
No
rules.
It sounds fun. No rules except for heroin.
Yeah. I bring.
No
I swear to God.
I bring 5 local comics out, and I'm one headliner.
Okay.
And they tear that shit up. It's built for comedy in a way. I mean,
Love it.
It's so natural, man. Those
love it.
comedians have like, you're their brother by the end of it. You're
That's
like
awesome.
they're speaking to you at eye level.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super cool, man.
Yeah.
I love that you're doing that, man.
Hopefully it can start back
Love it.
up. Hopefully y'all can make it out. So
Yeah, hell yeah.
Awesome.
Well, once again, we're gonna give a shout out to Session Works Studios.
441 West Pipeline Road, 817-282-2321, I believe, right? 2321.
Hurst, Texas,
Yeah.
baby.
Hurst, Texas. Once again,
My hometown.
thank you to Milo's mom. We will appreciate her. And then that's Milo.
That's Thomas.
And this is Phillip Garcia. And we appreciate you being here, buddy.
Thanks for having me, man.
Hell yeah,
No
dude.
problem, man.
Anytime.